Saturday plays. Do you like what you see out there?
I do. I think the guys are working hard. It's a two-a-day. This is our first two-a-day, so it's really important that not only we're good in the AM, but we're good in the PM. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how much of that energy we ended practice with, how much that carries over to the second practice.
As me, we're out every other day. So far, do you like what you see each day? I mean, is it getting better and better?
I think it is. I think the kids are really working hard. I think they're really focused. I think the coaches are doing a nice job of staying on them, and I think they're getting a little bit better every day. I really do.
One thing that stood out with me, what Roger just said, is that, from last year, he felt like he had to think more. Now he feels like he's getting it just coming to him. Do you see that with not just him, but a lot of the other guys that are returning, the veterans?
Nihi Saab, the art of knowing without knowing. I would say yes. I think the offense has a little bit of an advantage because they've been in it for 2 years. The defense, obviously, all they got is the 15 days and the two-a-days. But I think the defensive coaches are working hard and the players are working hard to catch up from the mental standpoint. And I think that the longer they're in it, the better they'll get. Right now, I think the offense has a big advantage because they're not thinking as much.
Is there anything that stands out or jumps out at you that maybe it's more than you expected? And is there anything that you feel like, hey, you know what, we need to work on more?
No. I think you got to be patient with this stuff. It's like a soup. You got to let it sit and you got to let it simmer a little bit. We're going to, it's really important that they continue to get better, small gains, and that we're looking for giant gains as coaches. And hopefully it'll all turn out in the end and taste right.
And last thing for me, quarterback being loose, video bombing you back there, having fun. What's it like knowing that these guys are loose and having fun?
The biggest thing is we just know each other. I mean, it's the second year. I know when someone is laughing that they're serious, or when someone else is laughing, they need not laugh because they need to be a hell of a lot more serious, and they know the exact same thing with me. So just the relationship of knowing each other better, I think, has a little happy feel, a better happy feel going around the football field right now, and that's a good thing.
I'm going to go into more of a couple of generalities.
Okay, good.
Just the offense as a whole. We've talked a lot about being the second year. It's not going to take hold until a couple weeks into this year.
4 to 6 games, between game 4 and 6.
Just what are you seeing right now out of the offense compared to last year?
Basically, just what we kind of talked about. They're not thinking. Okay, now they actually know the play, so now they're really concentrating on the techniques and the fundamentals, and that's the key. The game always comes down to who makes the least amount of mistakes and who capitalizes on them, and that comes down to techniques and fundamentals.
The amount of weapons you guys have, wide receiver, the host of running backs that you guys have, I'm talking offensively, obviously. How much does it help to have that balance between the passing game, running game, and know that you could get big plays out of pretty much anything?
Well, we always want to be balanced, and we're always striving to be balanced. I don't know, when you say all those weapons, I'm not sure we have all those weapons you're talking about, but I think we have a lot of guys that have a lot of experience and they know what to do. And because of that, it looks okay right now, but we can look better.
Defensively, obviously the new coordinator and everything, a complete change. What's the biggest change they've had to make on that side of the ball?
I think just when you got a new guy barking at you, you got to get used to the personality. And I think once they get used to Coach Ward and what those coaches want on that side of the ball, I think we'll be much better.
Lost a lot of guys from last year's defense, a lot of turnover. What challenges do you guys face going in, other than learning a new system?
I don't know if they're challenges. I think it's almost an advantage. The guys that we lost last year had played, some of them played 3 or 4 years, and a lot of them in a different style of defense. So last year's defense was only 1 year in a defense. With all those guys graduating and with us actually starting a new defense this year, I look at it as an advantage more so than a disadvantage, that they can all grow up together with the coaches and the new players that are being inserted on that side of the ball.
I talked a little bit about the offensive line the other day, the changes that they've made, slimming down, getting faster. What are the characteristics that you see out of that group?
Well, I'll tell you what, yesterday I thought we were a little bit slow getting lined up, and it was totally different this today. And I'm looking forward to hopefully I'll see the exact same thing in the second practice. I think Alex Huddle's one of the leaders of that group. I went to Alex and let him know. I said it wasn't good enough. I said we've got to line up better. We're doing the right things mentally, but we've got to put the effort out on the football field. And I thought there was a noticeable difference this morning with the offensive line, and I really believe that's what made us go.
What's it gonna take for that group to be so successful? Obviously, all the guys back. Really, a rotation of 7 guys that played last year, but for that group to really drive you guys.
I just think they need to care and love each other and have a lot of pride in what they do, and I really believe they do.
What kind of improvements have you seen, if any, at this point compared to last year out of them?
I think that, again, they've settled down because they're at a lighter weight. They're able to play faster, longer, which gives us a better chance for more successful plays later in drives.
And I think I read 125 combined starts back for those guys. How much does that kind of experience help, that group that's such a core to you guys?
It's good that they've played a lot of football games, but once again, they're in their second system. So out of those 125 starts, maybe 100 of them or 80 of them are in a different type of system. They've got experience on the football field, so they're calm when they're out there, but we need guys that really know what we want them to do in our offense, and I think they're really doing a good job of it.